Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah, and today I'm going to be talking about the 10 books that I read in March. The first book that I read this month was Blood Sugar by Sasha Rothschild, and I really enjoyed this. I gave it a 4. I think that this was such a unique thriller. The writing style was very fresh and new to me. I thought it was very captivating, and I did like the mystery. I almost gave this 5 stars, but there was just a little bit in me just wanting to hold back from a 5 star. So I ended up giving it 4 stars, but I really did enjoy this book. It's about this woman named Ruby who's a therapist who's murdered 3 people in her life, but then her husband comes up dead and the police suspect her of murdering him, but this is the one murder she did not actually commit. Next up, I read Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score, and I did not love this, which is surprising because I love small town romances. It's like my favorite type of romance. I love a small town romance, but the main dude in this, Knox, I think. Yeah, Knox, he was so fucking annoying and mean. Like, I feel like he took Grumpy Sunshine, Grumpy to like the next level. I thought he was a dick. I thought he was so mean to Naomi. She did not deserve it. And also, oh my fucking god, Naomi talks about her love for coffee on like every fucking page of this book. Like every page. She's like, well, don't talk to me before my morning coffee. Like, shut up. Oh my god, it made me so mad. And also the character names in this book are so stupid. There was like a character who was like an old man and he had like the worst name. It was like Hinkle or something. Like Hinkle. I don't remember, but I remember posting on my Instagram about it, like, what the hell is this man's name? Yeah, I did not like this book that much. I gave it 3 stars. Like, I enjoyed it, but the things that made me mad about this book just outweighed the good things about this book for me. And there's no fucking reason this had to be like 600 pages, you know? So yeah, but I did purchase the sequel when I bought this book, so I'm gonna read it soon. And I might like the sequel more. I liked, what's his name, Nash's character. I don't know, I'm excited to continue the series, but this one just really didn't do it for me. Next, I read my first 5-star of the month, and I wish I had a physical copy. I'm going to purchase one soon, probably. It's Mad Honey by Jodi Picoult. I loved this book. I listened to this book on audio, and it was the first audiobook that I ever have given 5 stars. I thought it was just such a beautiful story, and it was so heartbreaking. I loved it, and it was my first Jodi Picoult book, and I want to read more by her because it was a very gripping story, but it had like more depth to it. It had like more to say than like the average like criminal thriller type thing, like courtroom thriller. So basically, I don't remember the names right now because I don't have the physical book in front of me, but it follows this teenage boy. He's like 17, 18, and he's dating this girl, and she ends up dead, and the police suspect him of murdering her. And it just shows throughout that like his mom interacting with him and like the mom's feelings, and it's dual perspective from his mother's point of view and then his girlfriend who ended up dead, and it was just so good. Next up, I read my book of the month pick, which was The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth. I liked this book. I gave it a 4, but I think I'd probably give it a 3.5 after reflecting because I liked it. It's just not super memorable to me, but I did have a really good time reading it, and read it in like a day and a half. This is about a couple who moves to a house that's on a cliffside, and the cliff is like famous for people to go and jump off and try to end their lives. And then the husband of this duo, he like notoriously goes out and tries to stop them, and he is always successful except for the one time he isn't. And then you find out that he possibly knew the woman who jumped, and you get into that drama. I really enjoyed getting to know these characters. I thought they were all very interesting and they connected in ways I didn't expect them to. So yeah, I gave this a 4 stars, and I'm excited to read more by Sally Hepworth. I've had a few on my TBR for a while and I really liked this, so I think I'm going to give those a shot soon. Next, I read Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. This is Talia Hibbert's new YA novel. It's a romance between these two characters named Bradley and Celine, and they're in high school and they go to a camping trip for like a scholarship program. And it's a friends to enemies to friends to lovers plot, which is interesting. I don't think I've read a book like that before. This is my least favorite Talia Hibbert. I still give it 4 stars. I thought it was good. I liked it because it's Talia Hibbert. I liked their banter. I liked the characters. But for some reason, it being like, it was too young for me. And that's saying something because I love YA. Like, I read a lot of YA, mostly YA like mysteries. I still like this and I love the cover. I love how it looks with my other 3 Talia Hibberts. 3.5 to 4 stars. Who's to say? Next, I listened to the audiobook of 800 Grapes by Laura Dave. I've never heard anyone talk about this book. Covered a lot of family dynamics that I like in literary fiction. The book follows our main character who is contemplating leaving her marriage. She walks out while getting her wedding dress fitted because she realized her husband has been keeping a huge secret for her for a while. And then she goes back home to this winery and her parents are having issues and her brothers are having issues. So it's just a bunch of family drama that takes place at a setting of a winery in like the wine country, and it is just a great setting. It was a really good setting, really good cast of characters. I really liked learning about all of their different struggles in life and how it all sort of connected. And I thought it was a really great audiobook. I gave it 3.5 stars overall, but I really enjoyed it. Next up, I finally read Gone Girl, and I'm very glad I did. I really liked this book, but I did read it on my Kindle because the type in here is so tiny. It felt like it took me 5 minutes to read a page, so I got it on my Kindle from Libby and just read, but I have the book. I really liked this. I love the movie. I've loved it for years, so I'm excited I finally picked up the book. And now I really want to rewatch the movie. Even though I know the plot of this book because I've seen the movie, the twist was still so good. I wish I read the book before I saw the movie. I saw the movie before I like loved to read, because that twist would have fucking sent me over the moon. I would have gasped, cried, thrown up, you know? But it was still super good. I gave it a 4.5 overall. I took off that 0.5 stars because I already knew the plot, and so the twist didn't get me as much, and I knew exactly what was coming. And that's my fault. This is not the book's fault, but I just couldn't give it 5 stars, you know? And it took me a long time to read for some reason. Yeah, Gone Girl, 4.5 stars. Next up, I have another 5-star read, which also happens to be an audiobook, which is crazy, which was Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner. I do not know why I hadn't read this sooner. So I love Japanese breakfast. I really like Michelle Zauner. So finally read it. I've had this since the day it released. Yeah, I got the audio for this, which was just incredible. I listened to it in one sitting. Like I was doing some work on my laptop and I listened to it without even pausing it once. Like, it was that good. And as I was like working on my computer and listening to this, I was just sobbing. It's an incredible book. Like, the hype is real. It's so good. And knowing Michelle Zauner from her music makes it even more special, I feel like. So if you have not read this, I really recommend reading this and listening to Japanese Breakfast because both are incredible. Next up on my Kindle, I read The Bribe by Willa Nash, but she's Devaney Perry. And Devaney Perry has written one of my favorite small town romance series, like the Eden series. So this was another small town romance from Devaney Perry. This one reminded me of Indigo Ridge, which is the first book in the Eden series, because it is a small town romance, but it has a heavy mystery plot, and I really did like that. It was pretty dark at times. Like, the mystery elements were dark and disturbing, and there was a animal death that I did not think needed to be described in the way that it was. That made me so uncomfortable. Like, in books and movies, I can see humans get murdered, no problem, but animals, that just is messed up in my brain. This is a small town romance between Lucy and Duke. Duke has lived in Calamity, Montana for forever. He's a police officer, and one day Lucy shows up and they meet, and Lucy is from Nashville and she is a singer, but she is like, she's like super famous. She's like Carrie Underwood vibes, you know? But she comes to Calamity, Montana. This damn plane. Lucy comes to Calamity, Montana to escape something, and that's like the mystery element that you'll find out about. And I really liked it. I gave this a 4-star. It was not a 5-star, but it was so close. I really liked it, but it didn't give me that feeling that Indigo Ridge gave me, and that's like an all-time 5-star comfort read for me. And lastly, for March, I read I'm the Girl by Courtney Summers. I did end up giving this a 2-star. I did not like it. I read the first 70 pages and I was so bored. I just did not want to pick it up, so then I turned to the audiobook to help me finish it. And I finished the audio within a day while I was working, but God, I just did not like this book. I can't even remember the plot, and it's only April 5th right now, so I finished this like 5 days ago. So I'm reading the summary and I don't remember some of this, so. And I was paying attention. I just don't think this is a good book. Yeah, so it's basically about Georgia, who's 16, and the book starts with her like discovering a dead body, and then her teaming up with the girl who got murdered's sister to like find the killer. But then it turns into like she wants to work at this place that has a stupid name. Let me figure out the stupid name. They say it on like every fucking page and it means nothing to me. And then the main character, Georgia, becomes an Aspera girl, which I still don't even know what that fucking means. I think it's like she works at like this hotel, but it gave me like sex worker vibes. I don't think that's what it was, but that's the vibes it gave me. But she's 16. But on every page, they're like, I'm an Aspera girl now. Girl, that means nothing to me. Shut up. I did not like this book. I might give it a 1-star. It was insufferable. Sorry to end on a bad note, but these were the 10 books I read in March. We had some winners, we had a big loser, and some in between. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!